change all the time around us. Some change slowly, some change quickly.
And other things change really, really quickly.
Nature changes constantly. Every minute, every second, a bird grows wings in order to fly. A tree twists its trunk a bit to find the sun. A rock breaks in half to let a river flow.
We also change. We grow taller and sometimes bigger too. We lose our milk teeth and get new ones.
Our planet Earth also changes all the time. It's never still. It's always moving. It moves around its own axis and around the sun.
It changes from day to night.
From summer to autumn.
And then from winter to spring.
But planet Earth has been changing quite a lot lately. More than we expected and much, much more than we would like. Everything in nature is recycled. We are all made of elements that once were oceans, trees and birds.
Wow, look at that, Tim!
When our planet was formed, it turned out to be a marvellous mix. Couldn't have been better. Perfectly situated, not too close to the sun so as to get a terrible sunburn, and not too far from it so as to become frozen. It really had found its ideal spot. All we needed was water, and then it was a perfect balance. Not too hot and not too cold. Enough water for life to exist and flourish. Fertile ground to grow everything we need.
Sugarcane for sweets and cocoa for chocolate.
And the right amount of gases which made our atmosphere thick enough to keep our planet warm.
Like a soft blanket.
But this perfect balance has been behaving oddly. It doesn't seem balanced anymore.
Some years ago, our grandparents used nature's power to move machines.
Windmills and water mills, horse and carts, rowing boats and sailing boats moved by the wind. Even sunlight was used to dry fruits. As cities got larger, there was more need for clothing and food, but the production was too slow.
So the inventors began to think and think.
One invention followed the next, and we started digging deeper into the earth, looking for coal mines to fuel the machines, which were producing a lot of polluting gases. Then, one day, someone discovered oil, which became the fuel for cars, motorboats, motorbikes and lorries. We started taking out and then burning this oil, more and more oil, as the population got larger and larger and larger.
Hey, we're running out of room over here.
Just in the last 100 years, world population has tripled to 7 billion and will increase to 9 billion in the near future.
9 billion?
Tons and tons of oil and other fossil fuels are taken out from underground every day to produce energy for our machines, lights, electric devices and heating.
Wait a minute. My computer doesn't produce any polluting gases.
As a matter of fact, it does. Did you know the electricity our homes use come from power stations that burn fossil fuels?
Is that where our electricity comes from?
We are using up all the oil, coal and natural gas that took millions of years in becoming what they are. Did you know coal and oil come from dead animals and plants that lived millions of years ago?
Really?
That's why they are called fossil fuels. The fuel in the car you take to school may have been a dinosaur a few million years ago. When we burn these fossil fuels, we give out a lot of carbon dioxide. Carbon is one of the elements that make up all things planet Earth is made of. It is in me and you. It's what mountains and rocks are made of. It's in the oceans.
In animals and plants. It's in the air.
When we breathe, we give out carbon dioxide, which plants feed on. Then they use sunlight and water to convert carbon dioxide back into the oxygen we breathe.
We need the trees and the trees need us.
Couldn't have said it better. The problem is, we are producing way too much carbon dioxide by burning fossil fuels. Millions of people came to work in the cities, and all these people demanded more clothes, more food, more stuff to buy, more houses.
And more transportation.
And since there are so many of us, we are chopping down more and more trees to make paper, furniture, buildings, and to raise animals for us to eat. Every 3 seconds, a football pitch of trees is cut down.
One whole football pitch? That's a lot.
While you said it, another football pitch of trees went down.
Really?
So less and less trees are left to absorb the excess CO2 we produce. Oceans are getting warmer and more acidic as they absorb CO2 from the atmosphere. The increased CO2 in the atmosphere is creating a thicker and thicker layer of gases which trap more and more sun rays. So the Earth is heating up. Ice caps are melting. Sea levels are rising.
That's what we call global warming, right?
Yes, Jim. And that causes the weather to become completely messed up. Storms, typhoons, floods, hurricanes, droughts, and that's what we call climate change.
That's not the type of change we want. We should not keep on burning fossil fuels and chopping down trees the way we do.
Exactly. Complete forests are dying and drying out the land they lived in. Animals are already starting to become endangered and extinct as there are less forests for them to live in.
We have to do something. What can we do to help?
We must act now, in a natural way. It's the moment for change. These are just a few ideas that you, your friends and family can do to help reduce the amount of energy we use and save our planet Earth.
Number 1.
When you are driven to school, try sharing the ride with a school friend, or take public transport.
Or even better, walk, ride your bike or scoot to school. Number 2.
Check at home who's left the TV or computer on or in standby. Don't just turn it off, unplug it.
Turn the lights off when you're not using them. Number 3.
During winter, put on a woolly sweater before turning up the heating.
And close the window to keep the heat in.
If it's too hot in summer, take your sweater off and turn the radiators off to cool your house down.
Number 4.
Turn down the heating and hot water temperature just a little in your home.
Don't worry, you're not going to freeze. Number 5.
Share your toys, DVDs and books. The less things we buy, the less carbon dioxide is produced by the machines that make and transport things.
How about trying your friends' toys when you're done with your own? Number 6.
Reuse. Give your clothes, books and toys to someone else or a charity shop when you're done with them.
All these resources come from plants and trees in nature. Reusing saves having to cut them down to make new things again. Number 7. We can recycle most of the stuff we throw into the rubbish. Old paper, glass, aluminium cans and plastic bottles. All this can be made into new stuff.
It is much quicker and uses less energy to make products from recycled materials rather than cut down trees or dig up raw materials from underground.
Number 8.
Travel by train or coach instead of flying.
Aeroplanes are one of the biggest CO2 producers. Can you imagine how much fuel they burn? Number 9.
Grow your own food at home. If you have a small garden or a terrace, you can plant your own vegetables.
They taste better when they're homegrown. Number 10. Plant a tree and adopt it. Watering it regularly and making sure it gets to be a tall green giant.
Now you know we have a big problem. The good news is the solution is in your hands. It's all about changing a few simple things in your daily life. It's easy.
And it's fun! You can start right now.
What are you planning on doing first?
El último que apague la luz, el último que apague el aire. Si el foco no alumbra más a nadie, ay por favor, Señor.